beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from TV Detective Fan. And TV Detective Fan has this question: what is clairaudience? And in the 19th and early 20th century, there was a lot of jargon around the psychic arts, and a number of different ways of describing different ways of doing psychic work. For example, clairvoyance was the ability to receive psychic messages in a visual way, where you see symbols, images, visions, etc. Clairsentience was receiving messages through feelings in your body. If you were being told that something was correct, for example, in a question, you might feel it in a certain part of your body. If you were being told it was incorrect, it might be another part. You might sense emotions in this way. If you were reading for someone and they were upset, you might feel it in your abdomen or in various other ways. This was clairsentience. Claircognizance was simply knowing. You didn't necessarily know how it came to you, but you knew it. And clairaudience was hearing. And I would say that this means not only hearing in the way that you would think, but also getting messages as words. And in my experience, none of these would be confused for any other kind of experience. When you are doing clairvoyance, you're seeing visions and images, but you don't generally mistake them for something that you're seeing with your physical eyes. You're seeing them in the mind's eye. And when you're doing clairaudience, you may receive messages as words, but you usually would not confuse this with the voice of a person sitting next to you, for example. It's a very different kind of experience. And there were all these different terms that I've gone through and others besides, and today they're generally not still used. Clairvoyance is the most common one that is in use today, and it tends to be used to cover all of them. But some people still use the wider range of terms, and there's nothing wrong with that, although I think you have to be careful with it. And, you know, I cannot help but think that being too concerned over the difference between clairvoyance and clairaudience is kind of like being overly concerned between the difference in a murder of ravens versus a congress of crows. In certain circumstances, it can be useful, but in others it simply seems silly. So I think that you have to consider when it is useful to use these different kinds of descriptors and when it is not. But this is what they mean. And with clairaudience, again, I would say that it not only is the sensation of sound, but also simply knowing words, which may not be accompanied by sound, I think would come under clairaudience. But in the end, it's all the same process. It's just a matter of how you receive it, which has mostly to do with what you're open to and how your individual chakras are developed. But this is the difference between those terms, and as I say, they're not so common now, but you will hear them, and there's nothing wrong with using them, but I wouldn't make too big a deal out of it, because again, they're largely archaic. So I hope that answers your question and gives you something to think about, and until next time, may you blessed be. Please join me for our Correllian Peace Prayer. I pray for peace. I pray for love. I pray for stability. I pray for the nation where I live. I pray for the world. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from witchschool.com. Are you looking for the best in pagan and magical education? With more than 12,000 pages, witchschool.com is like having your own personal library with individual learning assistants to help you study. And Witch School's Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere education system is available any place on Earth, anywhere you are and anytime you want it, as long as you have an internet connection. Witch School's lifetime memberships are a great value. They really do last a lifetime. They've been there for years and they'll be there for years to come. So get your membership today at witchschool.com.